The views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the network or anyone affiliated. There will be mature and possibly immature content. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. As a matter of fact, I probably wouldn't listen at all. It's very poorly produced. Take me to your leader.
Monster Castle, Paranormal Radio, Monster Castle, Paranormal Digital Radio.
Right, yeah, okay, we are on live. Now, tonight, this is going to be Carman VS Oz. How you doing, John? We got John Carman and Rachel Oz with us.
I thought we were going to talk about paranormal stuff tonight.
Oh, we can talk about anything you want tonight. It's just widely open. Whatever you guys want to talk about. I got we got 3 interesting people here, so...
Free for all. Hey,
yeah.
Rachel's got a sexy voice. Say hi, Rachel.
I thought you said it was
hi, Rachel.
A sweet voice, and I was the one who said it was sexy. Now
She is
you're
sweet.
Changing around on me.
No, I was just using the term. She is sweet.
I went to the
I
went to the witch shop today, Rachel, next door where I'm out of town in off Lake Huron, out near a town called Port Elgin, and it's actually called Allensburg, but they have a paranormal shop here, and it's a little tiny town, and it's down to earth. That's the name of it. Actually, the guy, he does readings, and I asked him to be a guest on a future show, and he agreed. But he helped me pick out some really cool little trinkets and stuff. But the coolest thing I got is a new tarot deck, which actually seems to be perfectly designed for my Dirty Rotten Tarot show. It's really cool.
What was wrong with your original deck? Why'd you have to go?
Well, this one is actually... I've always wanted one that's more how should I say it? Exotic and dirty. And this is.
That's cool. A nice area. Lake Huron, huh?
Yeah. And it's Canada Day, so any Canadians out there, happy Canada Day. There's firecrackers shooting off all over the place. It's pop. Right on.
Pop, pop, pop.
You can probably hear them. I could let you hear them louder if I open this window. Listen to that. Wow.
Oh, yeah, I can hear it. And I'm way the hell down here in California.
See, now you're hearing firecrackers from Canada all the way down to California, thanks to the magic of the internet.
You guys are like right across from Michigan, right?
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, there you are. I can see you now. I know exactly where you are. Latitude, latitude, drone strike over.
Hashtag creepy.
So, yeah. What were we talking about?
All right, Carmen, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, you haven't heard any of my background yet.
I want to ask you about your martial arts stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a whistleblower first. I was former federal law enforcement, and then I exposed corruption back in '95. I've suffered ever since. But I used to be in the Secret Service when I was 21, so I protected Presidents Ford, Carter, and all the other staff and people who probably wouldn't even have a list of. But then I wanted to get involved in the war on drugs. So I went from there back to California, worked for San Diego PD. Then I went for that for a couple of years, and then I went into the U.S. Mint, got reinstated back to Treasury, guarding the gold in San Francisco at the U.S. Mint, if you've ever been through there. And in between, I was a private investigator. So by the time I was in U.S. Customs in 1983, that's when the stuff really got started. And I've lived in Japan, so it's where I got my martial arts start when I was 14.
Okay.
And you
What brought
trained
you
more.
into
Go
your
ahead.
area of expertise?
Or you can go to my website, customscorruption.com. You can see some cool photos, page 1 and 2. What was your question?
What brought you into your area of expertise?
Which one?
Well, we're here to talk about paranormal, so what brought you in?
Yeah. Well, what happened was I've experienced some of those things, but just about 5-6 nights ago, I had an experience. It always seems to happen at 3:30 in the morning, and I looked that up, and they said, "Oh my God, that's connected to angel stuff and all this other stuff like numerology." And I go, "Oh, I didn't know that. That's an interesting angle." But,
And the witching hour.
Yeah, and I know a few people like Charlotte King. She's up in Oregon. She's a person who predicted the Mount St. Helens eruption years ago. And she connected me to a few other people.
Yeah, Covencraft will tell you that your spells work best at that time of day. If you're doing spells, between 3 and 4 in the morning is the time to do it. That works the best because it seems to be when you're closer to the other dimensions.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Well, everybody's like dead asleep during that time because that's when you're in your deep REM sleep usually. But
geez, maybe that has something to do with it, eh? Maybe that has something to do with it. Is the REM sleep consciousness combined with all the people is what causes that effect?
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
Well, but anyway, Rachel, I had this experience. I have to explain this so everybody can hear. I have what you call a banana tree where you hang your bananas. When you buy a bunch of bananas, you put it on a little stand.
Mm-hmm.
And mine's a plastic one with a single arm that goes up with a hook on it. So I go, okay, so I hung it on there. And these bananas were on there. I buy them green. They were on there for several days, so they were barely turning. And I was asleep, and then one night I woke up and I heard a thump. And I'm going, I live in a small one-bedroom apartment. So I grabbed 2 flashlights, small pocket lights. One was a regular light, the other one was infrared or a black light. Didn't see anything. I went to the spare room, the bathroom, whatever, and came back. And I sat there on the sofa and waited. And I said, no, I didn't check the kitchen. So I got up and looked in the kitchen, and there it was. The bananas were on the floor. The stand was still on the counter. There's no friggin' way. When you slip those bananas on there, they're like pinched on. You know, you can't lift them without.
And you have
knocking.
no pets.
No pets. Not in this dimension. That's my point. Something lifted those off. There's no way you could lift them off. And if it was a cat, it would have knocked them over. It would have knocked the thing over. It would have been impossible for a cat or an animal to do.
And what town did you live in?
I live in San Diego.
At the time this happened?
Yeah, I still do. In fact, I live right behind a church, too, as a matter of fact. But I'm surrounded by angels.
Now, there's no way that could have been an earthquake or a minor quake?
No, because the stand would have fallen with it. See what I mean?
And but you said you were living in an apartment?
Yeah.
So it couldn't have been a neighbor that hit the wall or caused something for it to fall. So we know that a bundle of bananas can be very heavy, and if it's a plastic, I mean, I've had those before.
No, but
they do tip over if the bananas are too heavy.
Yeah, the kitchen is situated so that it's like a special area, like a bar thing, like a fake bar attached to the sink and all that stuff. It's in the middle of the kitchen, middle of the apartment, so it's not attached to the outside walls. See what I mean? So there's no vibration from any outside sources. literally, think about it. The bananas were lifted off of the stand, which is a light plastic stand, and fell or dropped on the floor. So I picked them back up, put them back on the stand, and went back to bed, tried to anyway. And about 30 minutes later, I heard another thump. It was different, but it was another thump. This time I went straight to the kitchen, and there was a banana that fell off. One single banana. Not the rest of them. They're still on the stand. So it's like, okay, so that one just happened to jump off, or somebody broke it off. So I picked that up, looked at it, and that was it. And I threw that in the trash bag, But that stuff's like...
Did you have kids at the time?
Sorry?
Did you have kids at the time?
No, no, there's nobody here. Just me and any angels, entities, or whatever.
So you believe some kind of force came and flipped it over, knocked them off.
No.
For whatever reason, they, weren't trying to be funny about it and say,
yeah, they weren't flipped up.
They came back after you put it back up and then took one off.
Well, one fell off, so I'm not sure. I wasn't watching it when it came off, so I can't tell you what I don't know. But the other part is definite. There's no way. But it wasn't flipped over. You have to understand. The bananas fell off of the hook, were lifted off the hook. The hook was still there.
The hook was still standing.
That's right. There's no frigging way that light stand would have been standing even if somebody knocked it over or bumped into it. It would have all fallen over together. See what I mean? Yeah, you couldn't do it unless you physically did it yourself. It would be next to impossible to lift off without knocking the thing over.
Well, yeah, you literally have to grab the bundle just to break one off without knocking the plastic stand over. So, yeah, I know that, and I can understand that. I'm just trying to eliminate any other...
There's no other stuff. I mean, I'm ex-law enforcement. I didn't leave any other details out. There's nobody else that accesses this place. There's nobody here living with me. No animals that I'm aware of, interdimensional or otherwise. So,
except for the fact that you live in California, which has multiple fault lines and is known for earthquakes.
It was not an earthquake.
That you know of, but you were sleeping.
Well, scientifically, it's impossible for you to say had an earthquake and it not knock over the other stuff. Everything else was left fine. And again, it was in the middle of the kitchen, the way it's situated. It would be like taking a circle and drawing a line through it and then cutting it in half, which means it would be like like that smiley face with a slash in the middle. That's where it's located at. The outside, if you had an earthquake vibration, you might feel something on a wall, maybe, but that's the outside. It was not even close. No way.
Okay, you being a police officer or a past police officer or law enforcement, you noticed details. Did you notice on how it was ripped off?
It was not ripped off the first time.
No, the second time.
If like naturally almost.
Right. Was it pulled or ripped up? Or, I mean, you would have to notice some sort of detail. That's part of
it was
your
broken
training.
Off. It was broken off. And they were starting to turn, so it wasn't like they were still green. So the pressure of when it hit the ground or something kind of broke the skin a little bit. That's about it. Broken off.
And you've never been known to sleepwalk?
No. I wouldn't be talking on this if I did. I've already thought about all those things.
For all the guests out there, I'm eliminating every possible.
I know. Yeah, but you don't know my background in total detail.
Trust me.
Yeah, I wrote excellent reports in so many details. I won 100% of all my cases. That's a big deal. Nobody could challenge my cases because of the details. There's nothing for me to add, and there's nothing that I didn't think about other than interdimensional, super paranormal type intervention of some sort. Sorry?
I said, well, be modest, why don't you? A little bit humble.
Not really. You still don't see the level. But that's what I've discovered on that. That's what that is. It has to be.
What do you think it is, Rachel? What do you think happened there? What's your theory?
It could be anything from a poltergeist. It could be anything from... I mean, how does he know he wasn't sleepwalking?
Because I was in bed when I woke up.
I don't know. I think it could be an interdimensional being or some kind of alien goblin creature that likes bananas. Or it could be like a fifth dimensional monkey.
Yeah, I have to mention, with my martial arts background, I'm not used to going around sleepwalking. So when I wake up, it's like the training will tell you ahead of time that you can feel stuff 15 to 25 feet away. But that's ninja stuff. If you're not into that, then it's okay. No big deal.
But you know,
did you feel any kind of temperature change when you entered the kitchen the first time?
No.
Okay, so we can eliminate some kind of ghost.
I don't know. Do they have a temperature change every time a ghost comes in, or no?
Generally.
Not necessarily. Really? Usually, it drops in temperature, but I don't think necessarily every time.
Yeah, it's like 70 degrees, 69 to 70 degrees here now, but it's basic temperature. Unless I had the air conditioner on, then it would be cool then, right?
My laser is missing.
No, then you would feel a temperature change generally, like I said. Not.
No, I know what you mean. A sudden cold spot.
Yeah, or a draft when there's no windows open, there's no reason for a draft.
Well, if I say that, then I might as well tell you about the foggy-looking cloud that showed up one night, and I woke up and I looked right at it because there's no light in my bedroom at 3 a.m, right? So it had like a sparkly-looking thing to it, and it was there for 60 seconds. I watched it for 60 seconds, and then it disappeared. I was happy. I wasn't scared of it or nothing, and it was a welcoming type of a thing because I recognized it as not normal. So some people might freak out, but I welcomed it. See what I mean? I wasn't afraid of it or nothing, but I figured maybe it was a past spirit or maybe somebody I knew that died or passed on. And I'm stacking up a lot of those lately.
Why do you think that is?
What's that?
Why do you think that they're coming to you now?
I don't know. It depends on who it is. I just got back from the Joshua Tree visit a couple of weeks ago, and I was just telling Mike about that. I said, maybe I brought something back with me. I don't know.
Do you think your past employment and what you've seen on the job might have something to do with it?
You never know. I mean, I wouldn't rule it out. I mean, I've seen dead bodies before, but I've had to do CPR on people in accidents and things like that. But why now? I don't know. I just found out somebody died just recently that I used to know, and they died over a month ago. And I just found out the other night. But that's after the fact. But it could have been. Who knows?
Why do you think that they would come to you after they died? Don't normal folks that are just die from normal causes, don't they usually just move on?
No. Unfinished business. So it's just hard to eliminate because I'm not sure who it was or who it could have been. Could have been anybody. Not necessarily human.
Them?
There was no contact.
If you were so calm about it, why wouldn't you just ask? Who are you? What are you?
I'm not sure that I did. I don't remember right now. I think I did ask the question when the cloud thing was, but I don't remember anything after that. But
Well, yeah, I'd hate to see you ask a bunch of bananas that, man. People might think you're crazy.
No, I didn't talk to them.
People might even call you a little bit fruity. Okay, that was terrible. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyways, so aside from the shadow person and bananas falling.
Poltergeist. Somebody suggested it could have been a poltergeist from another friend of mine. She's supposed to be psychic or something. And I said, oh, okay, well, why didn't they eat the banana? They can have it, you know? I offer it to them.
Obviously, because they have no digestion, no system to eat it with.
Well, they're not in physical form.
That you know of.
Right, not in this dimension.
But that would make sense to me. My suggestion would be also a poltergeist. They're known to be tricksters.
Yeah, very possible. Have you had any experiences?
Targeted again. Yeah, I've had my own experiences.
More than 2 or 3?
Of course.
There's people I've talked to who have never had any experiences. And when I told just a few key people about it, they were like, oh, wow, that's really something. You know, like they'd probably go their whole lifetime without having something that they are aware of. Because most people are not even aware.
How boring. I see UFOs on a daily basis and strange things like ghosts.
Well, yeah, you're in a good spot. I used to live in the desert when I was at a military base over there, and that was at a test station, no different than Area 51 type stuff. So when you go out at nighttime, you can look up and see the whole Milky Way, easy. And if you want to go out and drive out further away from the city or the base lights area near a small town, amazing. But they say there's a lot of abductions going on out in the desert too.
But see, folks like Wolfman and I, this is stuff we've dealt with our whole lives.
Yeah.
Stuff that we...
You know what's really weird? I'm seeing an object outside right now, and I can't find my laser. I was going to shine my... Remember we were talking about the laser earlier? Well, it's missing. It just disappeared. And I know exactly where I put it. It was in my suitcase, zipped away in a certain spot beside my binoculars, and it's not there.
Well, I know where it is. It's in the last place you look. Always.
Have you ever misplaced an object? I mean, you think you misplaced it, but then you go back to the first place you looked, and there it is.
Just figure out what the last place it is, and then go to that first, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's
shit, we're not
freaking me
easy.
right out.
Yeah, that's obviously how I would look for my glasses. I'd look right on top of my head. Oh, look, there they are.
Right. I had that happen once when I was sitting on a sofa, and they got flipped under the cover. And I was so frustrated because I have to have sunglasses when I go to work because my eyes are sensitive. They're like hazel green. They change back and forth or whatever. Most people with those light-colored eyes have an orange retina. So I literally had to go buy another pair of glasses before I went to work, then went to work, came back, and then when I was frustrated anymore, I looked around, there they were. Just under a flap of material. I missed them. So I had 2 glasses now.
That's okay. I look for my glasses all the time. Most of the time, they're either in my hand or on top of my head or hanging on the front of my shirt.
Well, at least you don't wear them on the back of your head like some guys, right?
I can't do that. I can't understand how people can actually do that. That's so
stupid.
Uncomfortable.
It's stupid. It's like these guys that put their ball caps on backwards. Stupid. You know.
Okay, backwards I can understand. Sometimes you can't have a bill in the way. What I don't understand is how they wear it sideways.
Well, it's like a sniper. Yeah, when you're doing sniper work, you got to turn it off backwards so you don't get it in the way of the sight. That's one way. But the other guys that do it, they do it because they're like gangbangers that are dopers or something. They're trying to prove that they're stupid. It's cool to be like dope, right?
Wearing your pants or sagging with your pants, when your underwear are hanging 3/4 of the way out. There's a reason why it's called under fucking wear. It goes under what you wear, goddammit.
Exactly. I'm right with you on that. Those people should be arrested and shot because a lot of them are gang members. And some of them, I asked somebody about this. I said, hey, is this some sort of a prison
I'm telling
gang?
the elementary school that there are like 5% of elementary boys out there that do that right now. You're all gang.
Well, tell them they're gay. That's what you do. You tell them, are you gay? And then they go, no, I'm not gay. Well, why are you wearing your pants down like that? You're advertising. You're gay. Now, if they say, yeah, they are, then they've proven the point.
I might get in trouble for that.
I understand, but I'm telling you the truth. This is what's going on. Prison people do it, gangbangers do it, and you go, yeah, there is a gay element maybe, but it's not the same way. But some of these guys are violent. They're trying to prove something, so why are they walking around hanging stuff up?
My pants hanging down, and that's going to prove what?
I don't know, that they're ready for action or something? That's crazy. I've seen people like that. Okay, so
explain to me what the whole purpose is of them leaving the price tags on it then.
Oh, that. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. I don't know. To prove that they didn't pay for it and they just snatched it or something. It looks like it's fresh off the rack. I don't know.
Yeah. It's kind of like, I would say the reason for doing that was because they're fucking mentally retarded. And they should...
Laser, though.
Because when I see UFOs, I always wanted to try shining a laser at the UFOs to see if they come after me. I'm not scared of them.
Remember that movie? Hey, Mike. Wolfman, remember that movie, the Mothman movie?
Oh, yeah.
Mothman Prophecy.
Yeah, that's it. The Mothman Prophecy. Thank you. And Richard Gere's in his hotel room. And he's like turned off everything, the lights, and closed the curtains and everything else. And he's talking to this voice that's not human. And he finally, he ditches his watch and throws it somewhere. And he asks him, "Where's my watch?" And the guy says, "It's in your shoe, under the bed," something like that. And it freaks him out. You can hear the music, and it's like, yeah, that's scary. That's interdimensional something stuff right there. That's somebody's right there.
The Mothman telling Richard Gere that his watch is in a shoe scares you, but a shadow figure in your room doesn't?
No, I didn't say I was scared.
Or a gerbil in your ass.
Oh, Richard Gere jokes. I get it. Okay. That's... He's a Buddhist, and when I first heard that, I said, "Are you serious? Really? Come on." He's a serious person, He's a Buddhist. And all this.
It's probably not true. I kind of doubt that's true.
I doubt it too. Although when I went through training for the police department in San Diego years ago, they did hand out a special deal where we had to study and look at some of this stuff to be exposed to all this stuff, including autopsies, dead bodies, and all this junk. And believe me, some of that stuff will put you in a little bit of a shock when you're looking at a movie that they made in reverse, because they had actual actors and then they combined it to a real incident. And I'm going, my God, that looks just like the female that got stabbed by this bad guy because she was a prostitute, late of the evening thing. And this homicide team comes in and whips out this liver thermometer, and I'm going, oh my God, he just shoved it right into her liver. It was real. That's why. And then they showed transport to the autopsy and went right through the autopsy. I go, wow. After the break, it was like you couldn't look at everybody the same. Parts, pieces. And anyway, that's what they expose you to in certain law enforcement agencies. I've seen
almost all of them. I mean, in any aspect that you go into, you start off as a beat cop, and that's generally what you see, right?
No, not necessarily, but yeah, you'll get exposed to it if you're in patrol and you respond to calls, yeah, because you're going to be the one they're going to call. I've been to people's houses where some woman came home and her husband's dead, sitting in a rocking chair. And I've responded to calls where accidents had just happened, stuff like that. But that's as a patrol officer. Being in the Secret Service was totally different. In fact, I'm going to share that story about the ghost at the White House because somebody else, I won't mention their name on this other show, I actually called in to tell them about it, and they kind of screwed up. But this guy was trying to ask about ghosts, and he was trying to put it together with the Lincoln's ghost thing. And I said, well, shoot, there was a guy that shot at an alleged ghost at the White House one night. It's always on midnight, of course. And this guy actually saw something. So if it prompted him to pull his gun and shoot at it, it was enough that he saw something. I believe he probably saw an apparition or a ghost-like image, see-through, that sort of thing. Not a solid image. But he had to do an incident report. They had to take him off duty for a while. They had to check the gun out, make sure there was no misfires, and big investigation. But it was there. It happened. But that would support, it still occurs from time to time.
Well, it would with any historical place.
Very
Wasn't
historical.
the White House rebuilt after it burned down?
Oh, yeah. Very historical place. In fact, I can go recent as Vince Foster during the Clinton administration. And he was killed. They think he could have been killed at work or not, but they can't prove it. But, there's all kinds of stuff that's connected, even back to the Civil War, that sort of thing. And, of course, there was a few other people that jumped the fence. I remember there was an incident I almost got involved in within 5 minutes, but the relief was late. So I was relieving this guy on the North Portico, which is what you typically see on the news, and there was a jumper that jumped the fence on midnight, right? And this guy had a pipe in his hand, so he tried to stop him, and he wouldn't stop, so he had to shoot him. So that's one guy right there. That's just one incident. So if you took all the incidents over the years, oh my God, there's probably hundreds, at least. Do
you believe that certain land or certain properties are
haunted?
Not haunted, but prone to death or to have mishaps like that happen or to have misfortune on it?
What, like Bermuda Triangle type stuff, maybe, or?
Well, nobody can really explain the Bermuda Triangle or.
Well, that's the only thing I could think. Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of, unless you're talking about certain bewitched areas.
Some people believe that certain houses or land, for instance, Indian burial grounds, not to get too.
Definitely, yeah.
Highly religious or spiritual places like churches or old churches, especially old churches.
Cemeteries.
Older plots and cemeteries.
I used to go around cemeteries.
Especially can capture and hold.
What did you do at the cemeteries, John? And by the way, do you guys want a break? It's half an hour in. Or do you want to just keep going?
Oh, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you do at the cemeteries? Why did you go there?
Well, I lived in Texas at the time, and I was probably about 5 or 6, I think. And it was a small neighborhood, so there wasn't much to do. But I remember I would, you know how it is, when you're that young, you don't go beyond your block or two at most. And I explored 3 or 4 blocks, maybe 5 blocks up, past a couple of other houses, small neighborhoods, whatever. And it was like a church and a cemetery walking distance, probably 1,000 yards away. And I was curious about it. And that was the time I was actually forced to go look at some dead person at a funeral home that I didn't know. So apparently the old-fashioned way from my parents' idea was to go show me what a dead person looks like. I mean, that's stupid, but that's the way they thought. But I was interested in people that were dead and their tombstones, and was just curious about them because their spirits and all that stuff. But that's just me. I'm not normal. Like I'm just going to go around. Oh my God, that's weird. There's history behind it too, and I've visited places like that even in San Diego because there's a lot of history. In fact, there's a whole area in Old Town, San Diego Old Town, that the streets actually go through a cemetery area, and they've got places marked where people buried them.
Well, a lot of the older homes up here where I live have their own cemetery plots, where the home is.
Yeah.
Family plots that are, in their back 40 or in the...
I just remembered that story about Lurch. Did you ever see The Addams Family, the original movie or TV series?
Probably not.
No? Lurch was a butler.
I know who Lurch is, though.
Okay,
I'm familiar with the newer one.
Oh,
he's
okay.
my friend.
No, that's the other guy. Yeah, that's Igor. Anyway, this guy was really tall, and he was from Texas, as a matter of fact. But, he was married, and I guess he died, and they didn't bury him in a normal place. They buried him in the backyard on property. So it kind of ties in with what you're saying. It depends on what state you're in, I guess, because some states, they won't allow it for obvious weird reasons, right?
Nowadays, I can see that happening. They wouldn't allow it, but, I don't know. But to me, that's what would cause land to go bad is
property
burying something outside of holy ground.
By the way, it is a state law that if somebody dies on property that you're going to buy or rent or do something, they have to tell you by law that somebody died there.
Yeah, it's called the full disclosure.
Right, at least in the state of California that I'm aware of. But
they have to tell you they died on the property. They don't have to tell you where or how.
Right.
Or how many.
Yeah.
Just that there's death on the property.
Yeah, that would get kind of spooky.
That would be awesome.
Are you into that? Do you like to get scared, kind of spooky stuff? Or like, you haven't been to
I would like to be scared, but...
Not in a bad way, but I mean in a fun way. Well, yeah. Halloween. How about the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland? You ever been there?
When I was a kid, and yeah, it freaked me out.
Right, that's cool.
I don't like to be scared, but I like to explore the unknown.
Yeah. See, every time I went to Disneyland, I had to go to certain rides, and I would always end up with Pirates of the Caribbean, and then right next to that, Haunted Mansion. Not necessarily in that order, but, you can go online on YouTube and pull up a tour, just to re-experience some of the stuff. But that is the best. Besides the one in Orlando, Florida, where they have the Disney World, is probably one of the best Haunted Mansion type things, exhibits or whatever.
That's not exactly what I was thinking about. I'm thinking more of like actual asylums and just places that are known to have contact with humans. Whether it's aliens or Bigfoot or poltergeists or whatever you want to call it, whatever the unexplained is, dimensional beings, whatever I haven't seen, I want to see. I want to see a freaking zombie. I haven't seen one yet.
You know what I bought recently was an infrared light. I've got a black light. You can turn that on and see certain things, but an infrared light is supposed to expose stuff that you can't see. Just like a suggestion. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. It
like
works.
Okay.
Like what?
Body temperature changes. That's what
that's like Carillion photography.
Before?
4? Oh, that's an interesting subject right there. Oh yeah, Carillion photography. It's like aura.
Yeah, you can see the chakra colors or something. You know.
No, not chakra.
Well, they
That's
do have
aura,
colors.
not chakra. It's auras. The aura
Well,
around.
the chakras are different frequencies, and they do have color. But that's another Hindu Indian thing.
I'll beg to differ, but I'll leave it alone. Or
if you studied frequencies, it all ties into frequencies.
Speaking of frequencies, have you heard of a ghost box?
Oh yeah,
I've heard the term. I don't know what it is. I haven't really looked into it.
It works on radio frequencies that it flips around, and then it's supposed to be
transmitter or receiver.
It's receiving. It actually is supposed to help entities from beyond communicate to us.
You're talking about white noise.
Sure, it is, Wolfman.
Yeah, white noise, brown noise, pink noise.
No. You know the movie White Noise? Did you see the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, where the father communicates through a FM, AM radio.
Yeah, it didn't matter what it was. They just turned on a radio. They put it to a certain frequency where there's no radio station on it. And all you could hear was basically some sort of static. And you could do the same thing with a digital recorder. You turn it on, you ask a question, and you let it play for about a minute or whatever. And then you turn it off, and then you rewind it. If you play it back, you're supposed to hear a response.
This is a little bit different. This flicks through AM and FM frequencies until it finds a station that speaks the right word it's supposedly looking for, and then brings that station into reception.
So it's a scanner.
And then automatically flips to the next one until it finds
that's what I was trying
the right word.
That's what I was trying to say. Yeah.
It's called sequence.
So it's a scanner.
Yeah, that's well said, Rachel.
But to me, it just sounds like a lot of hoopla, because you can basically make those or put an algorithm into a computer and place that into a box so that it scans through the frequencies at different intervals and picks up different words, and they can make that into the Holy Ghost or Mother or whoever they're looking for. I mean, they could see Jesus in a chip and call it a ghost box. Is what I see it as. It's completely...
Here we go. Right outside my window. It was really
cool. I've seen it. That's a good one, Rachel.
I mean, to me, they're almost identical situations. It's what you want to make out of it.
Oh my gosh. There we go.
Hey,
that's
Mike.
bloody loud.
Knock off the fireworks, Mike. Come on.
Go spray him with a hose.
That was cool.
Well, you know what some idiots do is they actually take out the guns, and I heard this one person had an AK-47, and they went out during the 4th of July or something and shot it off at midnight. That was too damn close. And it's illegal to do that, of course, but
oh boy,
it's time to leave, you know? Yeah, they should
Out
be playing
here
this song.
with us redneck folks, we fire off cannons.
Cannons,
yep.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, like Civil War type cannons, or
yep.
No howitzers or World War II vintage things, I guess.
No, not over here.
What was that?
Wow, that was some loud. I had to fade me out for a second there. I was wild. Oh.
Mike, this is your show. Come on.
What's going on?
me out here.
What's going on? Oh, I had to fade out. There was such loud firecrackers here. I had to fade my microphone out for a second there.
Shiny thing.
Pardon me? Pardon me?
Instead of shiny thing, you had to go which is worse, if it finishes a song before it ends every single time, or if they play the same song over and over again.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
That's close. So I pulled it up, and all of a sudden it got a stupid commercial for British Columbia, Canada on it, you know? So it's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a story behind the Rhiannon thing, because it was a Welsh witch. It was actually a goddess, something to do with the animals thing.
You mean a deity, not a goddess?
No, that's how it was described on the research on the... Sorry, that was her. Love that song. Anyway. No, they described her as a goddess.
In the chat rooms, any questions for him?
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. You got the Snarky of Oz. Who's the Is that you?
That's me. You retard.
There's not a whole lot of people. I don't understand it. Maybe they didn't tweet out right that we're on live, because I have never seen this small of activity in our chat room yet. Strange. Yoon Takayama is in there, but he just has silly jokes.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, he's just as snarky as I am.
Yeah, he's funny, but he doesn't have anything. But I got one. I want to ask John about his martial arts training.
Judo. Yodajunayo.
Yeah.
Know what I'm doing.
What am I interrupting?
Rachel.
Am I interrupting a topic you had going, Rachel? Because I couldn't hear. It's so loud here with the firecrackers.
Rachel,
not really. I just wanted to make sure we were including the Spreaker crowd and the listeners on this.
I think they're probably in Discord listening to us. Yeah.
Hey, do you know anybody in San Diego, Rachel?
No, I've never been as far down as San Diego in California. The farthest I've gone is Fountain Valley and Irvine and
Well, that's just north of me. Irvine's not too far. That's Orange County, I think.
Yup.
But San Francisco, I worked up there for 10 months. That's kind of weird. I used to jog across the Golden State Bridge. Golden Gate Bridge, I should say.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm not very fond of San Francisco. It smells kind of fishy.
Wow. Fishy. Yeah. Nothing wrong with fishy. As long as it tastes like chicken.
Almost everything.
Okay, Wolfman, the rules of weed do not apply to the rules of pussy. If you can smell it from across the room, it's not good.
Rachel's so smart. I love Rachel. She's really cool.
Yeah, I just added Adam Watt into the call. I'm not sure what's going on here. He's asking, where is the show? I got to check this out. What's going on here?
It's intercontinental, across borders.
I don't get, why are people not understanding it?
We're on a different level of a spiritual realm that they can't touch.
I guess
we're in the sixth dimension.
Yeah, we're in the fifth or sixth dimension, I think, tonight. Yep. I think those firecrackers did it to us.
Did you guys ever listen to any of those?
Hell of a lot more people in here making fun of everybody.
I don't mind people making fun of me. I usually find it funny myself. I can laugh at myself. It doesn't bother me at all.
Hey,
I can laugh at you.
What happened to Eric? Eric, you didn't
Oh, yeah,
contact
Eric.
Eric.
I want me to get Eric on here, too. That's right. That's what I was going to
See,
do.
he was the one that talked me into driving all the way up to Joshua Tree, which is 2 hours up into the desert from San Diego.
Well, see, you know, it really throws me off when something disappears in front of my eyes, and that really threw me for a loop. I go to find my laser. I looked everywhere in this room, and it's not here. That's weird.
It's
Nobody else has
Wolfman,
been.
stop looking for it, and you're going to come across it.
it's in your shoe.
I'm really good at finding things. I can usually just. All right, find it. Yeah.
Hey, dudes.
Stop looking for it, and you will come across it. Because the minute you stop
Hey,
for
Adam,
it, you'll
how are you?
find it.
Wait, I found mine.
Oh, nice. I'll
Mine's
probably
right
just have
here.
to buy another one. That's really weird.
Is yours green or red or blue?
Red.
I've got a blue one and I've got a green one.
I got a new whistle. It's a.
I've got 10 fingers and 10 toes.
Really?
That's all. You know about that, don't you? When the Indians, you're supposed to put your hand up to show them how many fingers you have. When you say how, you put your hand up. They're counting to see if you have 6 fingers.
How many?
But you only have 4 fingers and 1 thumb on each hand.
Then you're questionable. You're either a victim of a tomahawk or you're typically going to have 3 fingers like the aliens that they've seen.
Or you're completely normal because technically a finger has 3 joints.
Yeah. I've actually seen a person with 6 fingers in Washington once.
I've actually held 3 joints in my fingers.
At the same time?
Yeah, I smoked one at a time though.
So they weren't all lit.
How about
How
you,
many
Adam? Have you ever
bombs
done?
can you...
I think Adam's here too, eh? But I couldn't get Eric. He dropped.
Eric the Red? Well, I was going to say, he was there when Clyde Lewis was there, and Dr. Stephen Greer, who I'm trying to get in touch with, he does those lectures about contacting the aliens and all that stuff.
Now that's what I wanted to
I
know.
wonder if it's related to Jeff Greer.
Who?
Hmm.
Yeah, a lot of interesting people were there. A lot of interesting people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we were talking about lasers earlier. That's what I was gonna talk about, like, shining. How does this guy? What does he do with lasers? This.
Okay, yeah. What he allegedly does is he goes out in Joshua Tree. This is the last place I was just at, and then they shine a laser. Now, a laser pointer will only go maybe close to a mile, maybe.
Oh, really?
The point is, he pointed it toward an area that was allegedly a UFO, interdimensional or otherwise, and it would flash back. So he would turn it on, turn it off, and then it would flash back. And then he would draw a triangle with it on, like draw up and then over and then back down, like he's doing a pizza cut or something, or an isosceles triangle or something. And then it would come back with the same shape, so it would match his, thing exactly. So they were communicating allegedly that there was something going on. But I'm sitting here going, well, wait a minute. If he's pointing a laser to somebody on a hill, and there's somebody over there, we don't know that there's somebody on a hill. He could be flashing to a partner of his, and they'd just flash back the same thing. Maybe, but I don't doubt it. It's just that you have to look at all the angles, scrutinize.
You said a laser can only go so far. Well, what if you use reflective mirrors and use that to make the laser go further?
Well, he didn't, but I understand the question. But he used a regular handheld laser.
Were you out there at night?
I didn't think lasers
Yeah,
had
nighttime.
I thought they had a lot longer distance than that. Then how do people shine lasers up to the moon, to that mirror on the moon?
Well, that's a different laser. I'm talking about handheld lasers. They constantly tell you, well, you're not supposed to point it at aircraft and stuff like that. So a low-flying helicopter, they're going to be between, 500 feet or up or down or less than that, several thousand feet. Aircraft, commercial aircraft, up to about 8 to 10,000 feet. That's close. And then above that is like up into commercial military range, up to 30,000, maybe even higher than that. Commercial flights, I'm in an area that's not less than a mile or two away from the commercial flight zone. So when they fly by, that's a couple of miles. You would think a laser could at least touch that far, but that depends on how thick the cloud cover is, or if it's clear out. Like if it's overcast a little bit, you're not going to cut through that. But those things are pretty powerful. I've got some that are like 1,800 milliamps, stuff like that.
Well,
that's true,
because
that's told that.
Eric's here.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I missed that part in the beginning.
Well,
there's Eric.
Up. Eric, you're cracking up.
Hey, how about now? Is it better now?
There you go.
Can you guys hear me?
No,
Oh, yeah, I know what it was. It was
Yeah, I can hear you, Adam. You're a little low, but we can hear you.
Hey, Eric was there. He probably saw Dr. Greer do that experiment thing.
Yeah, a lot of people at the contact in the desert were using lasers to point out what they thought were UFOs, and in some instances they might have well have been UFOs, because the one that I saw when I had my night vision, I know for 99.999% fact it was not man-made, because it moved so fast, and the way it moved, it didn't just zigzag. It came down, it kind of looped around, and then went out, and then came back, and it did it so fast that even if, let's just say it was a government type craft or drone, what would be the point of all that? I mean, what would be the point of them it was obvious to me that it was otherworldly.
Yeah. Did you ever see that movie Robinson Crusoe on Mars?
I know. I want to see. That's an old movie, though, isn't it?
It's an old color movie. I actually met the actor that was in the movie, who played the Robinson Crusoe guy or the astronaut. But it almost matches the stuff like War of the Worlds on that movie. Those type of things. They would zip in on screen, and then they would just zip right out.
Well, the thing I saw last night. The thing I saw last night was flickered like a. What was that?
Like a what?
Oh, my husband's asking for a shoe.
Oh, jeez, I thought that was one of the other guys.
Everybody say hi, honey.
How you doing, man? This is the Wolfman. All right.
He's getting permission to go out.
He's got the honey-do list.
It reminds me of that song. Honey, I have to go out with the guys. Can I take it with me? And she says, no.
Hey, John, you asked me about UFO. There's one happening right now in Roswell, New Mexico.
Oh, is there?
With and Richard Dolan and Pope and all the guys. And there's also one in Washington, in the state of Washington, East End Ranch with James Gillian, who's got...
oh, you're cracking up again, man.
Activities. Oh, man, what a drag. I'm gonna put it on mute. I'm going to go outside, and then I'll come back. Is it better? Okay. So I got to tell you guys this story, because this is worth telling.
Cool.
So Rita's taking pictures yesterday while she was at the East Sadie Ranch, because they have a sign out there that says Bigfoot Crossing, and whether they really have Bigfoot Crossing out there or if it was just put out there to be kind of fun. But the bottom line is there's a sign out there in this ranch that's on a tree. So she took a picture of the sign, and then beyond the sign there's like a little lake or whatever, and then there's some trees and some bushes. And it's a real pretty picture. And so I'm looking at the picture, and I don't know why I decided to do this, because I don't do this normally. But I took the picture and I enlarged it, because I was just kind of curious to see if I could see anything in the bushes or something. I mean, it was a long shot, right? I just thought, what the fuck? I'm just going to play around here and see if So I expanded the screen, and I saw. Okay, this is going to sound crazy, but you could see the pictures because I tweeted them. I saw what looked to be 3 gray alien-looking type glowing creatures, let's call them. But only saw their face and their head. It looked like there was a mama, let's just call it for the hell of it, a mama, a papa, and a little baby. And the mama and the papa were peeking out around the tree. And then the baby was in the bush, and you can just see the heads popping up. And I looked at the picture, and it was obvious that whatever that was not supposed to be there. It was not part of the natural.
We have an echo.
What a drag. Anyway, so I've been showing it to people all day long, and everybody's agreeing so far that it's definitely something. It's not.
Yeah, that puts a new perspective on the 3 bears.
Yeah, exactly. So, and apparently this ranch they've seen Bigfoot out there. They've got orbs all over the place. There's a big mountain out there. I don't know what the name of the mountain is. I don't know off the top of my head, but there's always craft flying in and around. Apparently they think that there's a base in this mountain up there. It's still got snow on it. It's a massive mountain. It's ECETI Ranch, James Gillian. If you look it up if you Google it, ECETI, ECETI, you'll see the pictures. But anyway, I wanted to go there, but I just couldn't go this weekend. I have too many things I'm dealing with. There's another one in Mount Shasta next weekend, and then there's another one in Mount Shasta in the beginning of August with the Corey Good and those guys. And then anyway, so there's several of them happening. But go ahead.
That's cool.
Where do you live, Rachel? I forgot where you live. Are you in Canada, Rachel?
Hold on 1 second, guys. I've got a family thing. Eric, can you ask him a couple questions?
Sure. Where's Wolfman?
I don't.
Rachel's up in Oregon somewhere, but if they're having all these, man, I wish I had the money to go to these things. You know, I would do nothing but UFO investigations or something.
Kind of what I can do.
Breaking up. You're breaking up. We're losing connection.
Be around because if something. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go on mute for a second. I'm gonna go outside so I'll have better connection. Just a second.
Yeah. He sounds real good when he does that, just before he goes somewhere. So I don't know what that is.
Aliens.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I think it's just where I live. For some reason, if I'm in a certain part of this room, it's worse. And then if I have my iPad next to me, then it seems to cause some sort of distortion.
Well,
is it better now?
Yeah, if you put 2 devices together, yeah, you sound much better.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, 2 devices don't work.
Yeah. But
yeah, we were just talking about my ghost experience or my paranormal experience last week.
Okay,
where was this?
Sorry, I'm back.
In my kitchen.
Really?
Yeah, I woke up around 3:30 in the morning because I heard a thump. So I went looking around the apartment. It's dark and everything. I had my flashlight and my black light, and I'm looking around for all kinds of stuff. Didn't see anything, so I went back, sat down on the couch for a while. And I thought, no, I got to go check the kitchen. So I went in the kitchen. There's a bunch of bananas on the floor, and the tree hook, the banana hook thing that was hanging on, is still on the counter, untouched.
Wow.
Yeah. So something had to lift it off and drop them on the floor like that.
Has that ever happened? Anything like that happened before?
No, not like that. I've seen a light or a glowing plasma cloud or something on the ceiling a little over a year and a half ago. Separate incident.
Well, there you go. That's got to be. Yeah, that's probably connected.
Yeah. So this time it's like, okay, so I put the bananas back on the tree hook, and the tree hook is a plastic thing that you buy to hang your bananas on. That's all. It's real light. I mean, you could knock it over. So then I waited about 30 minutes, and then a banana literally fell off, jumped off the hook, and it was on the floor. So I heard that. So that was 2 times in an hour.
Like paranormal bananas.
Yeah, if they're hungry, have one. You know, that's what some people do if they're Buddhists. They leave out fruit as a donation to Buddha or to whoever, you know, and that's Native American Indians do something similar too. I don't know if they get bites out of it or not.
Or Santa Claus.
Oh, I got another good.
Hey,
I'm pretty sure it's just made as an offering, not necessarily as an actual. Okay, never mind. All right.
No.
Don't forget the apple for Rudolph.
No, you're correct. It is an offering. It is an offering. But if somebody bites it, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Hey, Eric, tell us about Stephen Greer. Did he ever really get any good responses? Or did you guys when you were up there?
I don't know if he did any kind of. We didn't really hang out with that group.
Right.
We were at that house, the Fader house, and we saw plenty of stuff where we were. But I think I want to do the Greer's got his SETI. It's not E-SETI. It's called SETI, and where James Gillian has he calls it E-SETI. So I'm not really sure. But anyway, yeah, I'm sure there's a. Did you ever see that YouTube video that Greer filmed when I think they're out in Florida or something, and they summoned the craft, and then the 2 craft appeared? I mean, it was so obvious that it was pretty amazing. It's like probably the most amazing video I've ever seen. Have you ever seen that before on YouTube?
I've seen a couple of his lectures where he talks about that alien that was materializing, but I don't remember seeing the 2 craft.
Yeah, if you Google search on you, just go to YouTube and type in Stephen Greer, ET craft, something. You'll see those. There's a group of people out there, and they filmed it too. It was they had a whole bunch of people sitting out there on the beach in their lounge chairs, and they were doing their little seance or whatever it is they do. They summon these things. And then they came, and they were out there above the horizon, above the ocean, out there quite a ways. But I mean, they were so obvious. It was so obvious that it wasn't a star or a moon or a helicopter or anything like that. I mean, there was something going on out there.
Well, he's got an ET.
It wasn't Superman, was it?
I don't think so.
Was it Wonder Woman?
Could have been.
By the way, this new Wonder Woman movie's awesome.
Really? Who plays Wonder Woman?
Don't say anything. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh. Well, what's her name is a pretty good actress.
Sexy chick, yeah.
I got a Wonder Woman story to tell you guys. This is a true story. This was back in I want to say the late 70s. This was before Wonder Woman was Wonder Woman. Linda Carter, I think it was in the very beginning of her career.
Hashtag hot woman.
And I don't think this video you probably won't find on YouTube. I'm guessing that I don't even know how it got on TV, but one night I was watching like Creature Features or something like that, and it was like 1:30 in the morning. I was flipping through the channels, and all of a sudden, there's Linda Carter in this scene. She's out like by this campfire, and she's fully naked. I'm thinking, my God, I couldn't believe it. They were actually showing full nudity and back in those days, they didn't show nudity on television. It was almost like somebody hacked into the, or bootlegged it in, or somehow it got, I'm guessing that it got aired, but it wasn't supposed to, or the guy that put it on there just did it without permission, because it was Linda Carter, and she was full-blown naked, running around with her big breasts flying around, and she was hot, and I just couldn't believe what I was seeing.
It wasn't photoshopped, huh?
It was not. It was a movie. She was actually in this little B movie. It was like a little. a lot of these Hollywood stars to get their their foot in the door, they do these little B movies. Sometimes they'll be naked, or some of them even do sex scenes, and then with the producer or whatever, and then once they go along with the program, then they get to move up the ladder. But they don't get to move up the ladder unless they do something. You have to go through some sort of little
ritual,
pornographic ritual to get up the ladder.
Send me the link.
Yeah, believe me.
Hey, I'm Googling it right now while we're talking. So, oh my God. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Hey, while you're Googling stuff, go ahead. No, I won't go there. You'll never come back.
Wait, I'm gonna Google Rachel now. Okay.
Oh, go fuck you. I told you, you won't find me anymore. I'm on AOL. That's no longer existent. It's obsolete.
Oh, you used to do nudes, nude porn and stuff like that, Rachel?
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I find websites like Chatterbait to be extremely disgusting.
Oh, God.
Chatterbait.
I would really like to exchange nude pictures with you, Rachel.
Hey, Rachel's really hot looking.
Ridiculous about it is that if you're gonna be on there and you're gonna eventually show your body, why play coy and be like, I'm just here to put my makeup on and share my day-to-day life, and then whoops, my finger slipped into myself. What the fuck? Really? You just made that guy wait the whole day just to talk to you so that he can see that very end. You realize that, right?
Nope.
Oh my God.
Periscope is kind of turning into kind of a strange thing. I mean, there's it's like amateur hour for chatterbait girls and guys. They get on there and they're not nude, but they're kind of doing some little sexy dance or whatever. They're exposing most of their breasts, but then they say, if you want to do a private, they have this little thing where they call it private, I guess. I don't know exactly how that works, but whatever, they go private. So they're kind of making money off they're using Periscope like trying to make money off people. And some of these, you'll look at you can see how many people are on the chat video. And if a hot chick's on there, man, you'll see 700-800. I've seen 1,500 guys in there at one time, just staring, and then they're just total perverts because they're just the comments they put in the chat room. You get to see all the
that
comments.
Would have to be a really large server.
Yeah, Periscope is getting crazy.
So size does matter.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
People are either doing bong hits and they want their wake and bake bong hits in the morning, or at nighttime it's the girls and the. Oh my God, this massive black widow just kind of crawled up right next to me. I can't believe it. Holy shit!
I've got a spider that lives right outside my balcony.
Oh, you should see the house spiders up here. We call them thud spiders because when you squish them and they fall to the ground, they make a thud sound.
I've actually got a couple hunter wolf spiders down here.
Oh.
Spiders are gross.
You guys know who Linda Moulton Howe is?
Yes.
No.
She did a presentation at the Roswell and she hired
someone tag her in for a little bit.
Uh-oh. Oh, you
I'm
know
a voyeur.
Yeah. We lost internet connection for a second, but it's back now. And I hope it's not going to do that again. That's what happened yesterday. It just died on me, the internet here, at a certain time. It was weird.
At least you have the internet. All I have is my stupid cricket phone.
Wow.
No Wi-Fi.
Huh. I tried to add him in, and it didn't do anything. That's weird. I'll try again. Yeah, we lost Eric, so I can add him in. Okay.
I just sent him a text. Message.
Oh, that was strange. Okay, yeah, we never took a break for a long time, so I'm gonna find something to put on anyway. But say hi to June, everyone. Are you there, sir?
Oh, hello.
Hey, how do you pronounce your name? Is it June or Yoon?
June.
June.
As in the month. The month.
Is it Hoon? Is it pronounced like an H?
It's June. Like the fucking month.
It's Japanese, eh? Yoda janayo.
Whoa. Oh.
Hey, June, when we come back, let's ask John about his martial arts training and history. I wanted to get in. I started in and I forgot to keep pursuing that. Have you ever studied any over there?
Oh, I know some good martial arts. Very good.
Does June know judo?
June is the rope master.
I also know rape kempo.
Oh. Yeah, but we don't really like what you do to dogs.
No. That is Korea.
No, that's actually Taiwan.
Kim Jong-un.
All right, let's do this.
We actually eat like squid.
Okay, you guys, take a little break. I can't mute you, remember? I'll let you know when this song is done. You won't be able to hear it on your end.
Naked sushi, June.
I'll mute myself. Thank you very much.
You seen Joe?
Hey, June.
You talk about him.
Yes.
Aliens, you talk about
You
him.
had naked
Are you
sushi.
kidding me, Wolfman? You literally had
I've gotten that at a very special
point on
place.
a ghost box.
That's just expensive, I
A
hear.
lot of credibility.
Depending on the hooker.
I'm calling you out, my friend. You were scared of the girl.
That's funny you mention it because I saw some
I sure would
black
be sitting there admiring the
street type. She was paid $20.
With every sushi.
She was paid $20 to lick the edge of a dumpster, trash dumpster. And it looked like your typical dumpster. I go, my God, I wouldn't lick the edge of that, but she got $20 for it.
That's called a rim job.
There's no telling what she would do for $100.
We give you 100 to eat sushi.
I'll be $100 richer. I'd be sushi.
Hey, Adam.
Adam
Yeah.
the pussy?
What is a rim job? Give me the definition.
That was a joke, actually.
A rim job is when you lick somebody's asshole.
Oh
And it
my
is.
God.
Thanks, Adam.
Yarro. Skirikatun kayate. Yarro.
Oh, yada.
I've been watching Zatoichi lately, so I have to keep my Japanese up. Or here's a good one. Look up Origami. That's a good. It's kind of scary, but it's a good samurai type of a mystery movie thing.
If you've ever seen Ichi the Killer, that's a good movie.
I've seen a lot of his movies. Shintaro Katsu. Right? Verdad? The show?
Oh, that's good.
Ninja Scroll. That's a good one.
Which one?
Porno star.
Ninja Scroll.
Oh, Ninja Scroll. Yeah, very famous. I used to watch that. God, that was like 15, 20 years ago. I used to watch that on
How about Legend of the Overfiend? Have you guys seen that series?
Legend of the Overfiend.
I'll bet you I could go outside right now and see another UFO. It's completely clear here.
But it's dark, right?
Oh, it's really dark, yeah. There's no city lights here.
So you could say it's dark and clear.
Oh,
yeah.
hey, look, man, I was going to ask you something about that whole laser light thing. Because from what I was told, if you shine a light into space, the light will continue to go until it's reflected back at you.
That's why I don't understand how come you only have a mile of reach. I don't think there is I think it just keeps going, a laser. I don't think there's no limit to it, but maybe it does. I don't know.
Well, the beam itself may not be visible, but the light must keep going.
It's gonna dissipate. It's gonna break up after a distance because of the particles and junk in the air.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, anyways,
Basically,
so you took.
exactly what I said, till it hits something, whether it's particles or.
Yeah.
So you took
That's
judo, right?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yes, I started out with judo. I had some previous stuff just on street fighting junk as a kid, but I took a formal discipline, which is Kodokan Judo in Japan. I lived on base, and I lived off base, and then I was able to go to a school after a regular school, which was high school. So I started around 14, 15 years of age.
I started at 6 years old.
I took Taekwondo around that time.
Oh, John.
Cool.
Did you ever deal with any Yankees?
Yankees?
Rednecks.
You know the street punks that want to beat your ass?
No.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, I guess I didn't run into those. Were they supposedly in Japan?
They're called Yankees. They're delinquents. They'll rob you.
Oh. No, I didn't have that problem because, I don't know, I guess I just didn't travel in certain bad areas, although I've been through the Ginza, I've been through the bar areas. You know, you can only put so much money sticking out of your blue jeans, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I had to go to a very bad school, though, because I was a piece of shit.
Well, wait a minute, I'm going to ask you a question. This is a judo thing.
What? You still are, June.
They had a judo cartoon called Judo Boy, which was famous back in the 70s or late 60s. But there was another cartoon that was like a judo boy, but this kid was violent and blood. They had blood on cartoons, right? Because they had violent type cartoons.
Oh, yeah, because cartoons were fucking bitching back then.
Right? So I was trying to find it. I can't find it, but those guys in the judo things, they had schools. They would challenge each other, and they'd walk around with their judo and gi and their black belt hanging over, and other guys would challenge them all the time. And yeah, I ran into a few tough guys, and I used to fight black belts constantly. You know, I almost said for a living, but it was almost like for a living because that's what my sensei would do. He would invite other black belts around. Come fight my young American guy. He's really strong. He's big. He's like 6'3", and I was 6'3" when I was 12. So I had to fight all these black belts and drop them. But that's the best Japanese judo ever. You know, Brazilian, I'll debate it, but it's still judo. You know.
I thought you trained with Steven Seagal. Didn't he train Aikido?
Yes, that's Aikido. Aikido. He's a 7th Shihan, which is 7th degree. He married Fujimoto, what's her name, in Osaka. That's kind of how he kind of came up, allegedly. But he knows his stuff. I practiced with him. His art is exactly how Morihei Ueshiba, the founder, put it out. So it's kind of a rough...
Yeah, but he's no fucking Bruce Lee. Come on.
Say what?
I said he's no Bruce Lee. He's never been anywhere near quick enough.
No,
he's not even close to being a Jackie Chan. I mean, just
no, I would not compare him to either of
like
those.
A joke to me.
And he's older than I am. We share a similar birth date. He's a year older, and he's a lot heavier now. I just saw him recently on some deal where he was working out with some other Japanese sensei in a karate thing, showing him some techniques, which are similar.
Allowed to do that after he broke his back.
Say what?
I thought he wasn't allowed to do that anymore after he broke his back.
Who broke his back?
Steven Seagal.
No, he didn't break his back.
He didn't?
No, Bruce Lee did it.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's a different person, I think. He did not break his back.
Oh, did you learn any dirty fighting?
No, I learned traditional, disciplined Asian martial arts. There's no such thing as dirty fighting.
Because my master taught me you can poke people in the eye and just rip out their testicles. Shit like that.
That's vicious stuff. That's getting into the Kempo area. That's Chinese related. Unless you want to go to the Shotokan style versus the Oyama karate of Okinawa, then it gets kind of vicious.
It was kind of a mix of Kempo and regular kicks.
Yeah, Kempo's pretty weird.
I studied Kempo actually myself. I studied Kempo at Ken Talek Studios in London, Ontario, and Ralph Chinnick's studio. And Ken Talek was he was Japanese. I think it's Shirinjiru or Shotokan.
Right,
Shirinjuku. Yeah, they actually attacked our dojo, and it was an incredible battle, man. It was dojo against dojo, but we won.
School rivalry.
Yeah, we won, man. The Kempo school won. It was actually our sensei that did most of it. He pretty much cleared up everything. He did almost all the work himself. He was amazing.
Hey, I want to test you guys, see if you're psychic. I'm holding a martial arts implement in my hands right now. Can you guess what it is?
Nunchucks.
Throwing star.
No.
It's a phallic object.
It's long and it's hard.
I think it is a tonfa.
No. It's not a tonfa.
I can't remember the name of it, but it's on the end of a keys, right?
No, it's long and it's hard. Oops, I almost dropped it. Here, I'll even make a noise with it. What?
Is it edged? Does it have an edge on it?
No, not really. No, it's
Did
not
Ninja
what you...
Turtle use it?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, then it's one of those beating sticks.
It's not the bamboo one.
Not a staff.
It's the other one.
Is it wooden?
Yes.
I don't know what it's called, but
Ken.
Oh.
It's a Ken. It's like you know what a Joe staff is. That's the long pole, but this is the actual wooden sword that you practice with. They actually hit with those. You block, and you break blows with it. And
so
in some
it's
schools,
like an eskrima stick.
No, it's an actual wooden. It's a wooden sword.
What they practice with.
Yeah, they would actually use that in Aikido as well because that's part of the Iaido sword techniques, which what they call it is
a boken.
Somebody asks you what's a boken. Yeah. If they ask you what you do, you cut. What is your art? I cut. That's what Iaido is. That's what they do. They get a sword and they cut the air. They cut. They cut. They cut. That's what they practice. Just don't get in the way.
What is that called again? Kendo. Yeah, I studied a bit of Kendo because I took after the Kenpo, I studied Gojo
There you
Ryu.
go.
And
there you go.
And then I studied Gojo Ryu, and in Gojo Ryu, we actually got to learn bits of all kinds of different systems. We would get, actually in my black belt class, I was able to request whatever style from wherever I want, and he would get a master in from that and teach us whatever we wanted from any style in the world.
Yeah, it's all tied in. All those arts are tied in to the same stuff. It's just you're opening yourself up like no different than Kung Fu, you know. The Silent Flute movie, which they turned into Kung Fu, which was based on Bruce Lee's original script. He would have been the one to play it instead of David Carradine if he had survived or lived.
It's kind of funny. I was actually watching the original movie the other day of Kung Fu.
Oh.
Has any of you heard of the porno version called Cunt Fu?
No, but I've heard of the European version. Taekwondo.
Oh my god.
Sounds horny.
Or the the animal version, Zufu. But anyway, Kendo is the art of sword fighting, and Aikido is derived from that.
Yes. They're using wrist techniques, chopping techniques, or when you chop your hand down, you're using a knife edge hand, and you're actually doing a sword technique. So it's all tied in with you coming down and you coming across with your other hand and grabbing a wrist or blocking or doing those things. Well, keep in mind, I'm 6'3". Steven's like what, 6'3.5", 6'4".
So did you ever do any 24-hour training, like we would call it mega training, and we would do meditation and blindfolded sparring, things like that?
Yeah, I did some of that. I used to go on some of these seminars. After working at the border, I would drive up from San Diego all the way to L.A. just to go practice at Seagal's dojo. And I practiced with him, his chief instructor, Haru Matsuoka, who was in a couple of his first movies, and Patrick Gorman, who's an actor, is a valid black belt in the arts, too. He's a fantastic actor. He's been around for years, too. I think he was the first time I saw him was in that movie, 3 Days the Condor. But, man, you go up there and you're sweating right through a judo gi, easy, in the summertime. That's a lot of work.
Have you ever heard of Miyamoto Musashi?
Of course. That's what that's the name of the other movie I was telling June was Aragami, Aragami. It's a movie. Let me pull it up. I got the link already because I was watching it. This guy is he's immortal and he's living forever, and he had another name, and he's telling this other samurai that he's got as a guest. It's kind of a happenstance guest because the guy came in wounded or something. And he was telling the guy he was well known. He had 600 or 700 wins, and nobody could beat him. And he was well known. The guy finally asked him what his name was. He says Miyamoto Musashi. Boom,
Oh, the guy who writ that is dead, and it never really finished.
I trained with Miyamoto. He actually come to my studio and trained our black belt class personally. A couple times.
Back in the 1600s? Back in the 1600s?
Okay, that's the different name. I mixed up with someone else. They called him the Cat. I'm getting the names wrong. Miyamoto Musashi must be the one who started Goju then or something.
Yeah, you're talking about a different one.
Yeah. I think Miyamoto Musashi is the founder of Goju, maybe. I'm not sure now. I'm mixed up. It's been such a long time.
Speaking of samurai movies, have you seen the movie Lady Snowblood?
No.
Yep.
Is that close to Kill Bill 1 and 2, maybe?
This is very different, though. She was born to exact her mother's vengeance. She's born of a demon seed.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Because I believe the mother was raped, and she's a rape child.
Oh, no. Not the rape now.
Don't blame me for it.
And he's off
I
on
was
the
just going to blame you for it.
Raw sushi.
It was my brother Juro who wrote the movie, and you can blame him. He loves rape.
Oh.
That's funny. His name is Jiro, like Jiro? That's the name of the judo founder, is Jigoro Kano. Jigoro. Or Jigoro.
His name is Jiro Takayama.
Yeah, I used to go to school back in Japan, so I was there for 3 years. So I still have people I still communicate with, birthdays and whatnot.
Bitchin'. I want to go to Japan.
Oh, you should. You can go to, where was it? I can't even think where the big Buddha is in Kamakura, and they have special temples over there, and you can go have the green tea ceremony, and you can have Kobe steak, which is from a special beef that they feed beer to and take care of them, and then they make steaks out of them, I guess.
Oh, but, from the seppuku. Yes.
Yeah. Japanese.
No, seppuku is suicide.
Yes, I know. That after the suicide, you make steaks out of the body.
Carry. Well, I just sent you that link to origami. If you're interested, Rachel, we should talk also on some stuff, and I'll send you that link too.
Are you saying origami or origami? Because that's making things out of paper.
No, it's origami, not origami.
I've seen a newer version of that movie before, and I actually read the creator's work who made actually writ that, and the guy is actually dead. He wasn't able to finish.
What was his name?
I'm not really sure. You'd have to look it up.
Well, the name they put on the movie here is Ryuhei Kitamura, but I think that's the actor that was playing in the movie.
I think you'd have to look under screenwriter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find that guy on the judo boy thing. But yeah, I was just watching Yakuza just the other night, and there was 2 movies on that. Zatoichi is a favorite. That guy's blind, and he's the blind swordsman. Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. I just figured out how to mute you guys.
Oh, yeah. Go fuck yourself.
I don't know why I didn't think about it. Just look at the speaker board here. Like, oh, yeah, that's the first mute I ever used.
Wolf, did you figure out how to masturbate, too?
Well, I'd have to mute you guys first, and then I'll figure that out. I'm just going to leave Rachel's voice on, though.
That time.
Now, do you guys want a break right now, or not? I don't care.
Where's my brother from another mother? Where's my Igor?
Oh. I will get Igor. He will come.
Yeah, I could go fix a sushi burger or a steak.
I wish I knew how to pronounce that. Eurotsuki Doji? How do you pronounce it?
Sukiyaki? Sukiyaki?
Wow.
Yeah, they run it. They put all those extra.
Hello, Rachel. Hello. I snuck up on you. How would you like me to give you a little bit of slight bit of electrocution?
Ooh,
do you like that? I did it very softly on you. Do you like that?
Mr. Carman?
Yes.
Meet my brother, the mother. This is Igor.
Yes. And I have studied martial arts too.
Do you know who the famous actor was in the United States that was kind of the forerunner of that voice that you're doing?
Peter Lorre.
There you go. You got it.
Chuck Norris.
You mean Charles?
Charles Norris.
Yeah. That's his other alias name. It's okay to be a felon, right?
I not tell you my severity.
Still trying to freaking pronounce that.
Which
the only
word?
person that can be a felon is Wolfman.
A felon?
Point me. You did not shock Mr. Carman.
What's that?
Go back to your dungeon.
Can you shock his
would you like me to
penis
shock
to make
Mr.
it
Carman?
bigger? Yes,
Please.
yes.
Okay. I will do it
I can't hear what you guys
one
are
at a
saying.
time. How about a little bit of electrocution?
No!
How did you like that, Mr. Carman?
Can you go a little lower?
Shock his nuts. That's what he wants.
That is disgusting. I am getting out of here.
To quote James Bond, I've got a little itch down there. Remember that scene? The guy with the rope,
Rope.
right? Remember that?
That,
The big rope? Whack!
Yeah.
I was the guy with the rope.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Stabby McHugs in the chat room.
Koichi Tohei. Doko ikano yo? Naji desu ka?
What you done now?
Yaro.
I know a little bit of French.
Bakayo!
I used to know how to count in Japanese, each ni sam or something like that. I can't remember that anymore.
Ichi-ni-san,
Chi.
Ichi-ni-san, Chi,
Go.
Teach me.
Yeah.
Ichi.
Hajime!
Ichi hachiko tochiku chuchuto. But you have to say it fast so you can whip through it. Parlez-vous français, Rachel?
We
Ooh,
Mine-
whip through it. Can we whip through Rachel's ass?
Voulez-vous français? Well, you know what they use butter for in France?
Masturbation?
Well, it's somewhat connected. Some friends of mine went to France. They went to one of these European tours, and they went to a place like a cafe. They had some butter, and they made it so obvious that some of these guys heard about it. They laughed. And then they would ask the waitress, well, why are they laughing? Well, because in Europe, they use butter for sex. So you have to ask for it like margarine or some other term, I guess. So it's kind of crazy.
that's nasty.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So
Rachel, do you want some butter?
mantequilla. That's
Butter.
Espanol. Mantequilla.
Parquet.
Mantequilla.
Anything that needs to be refrigerated, yeah, you just don't put that in a warm, wet plate.
No.
What about tapioca pudding on the pussy?
Oh my God, I love tapioca pudding.
And I love
It also has a
pussy.
good taste when it's on that hole.
Those are, what are those, sex foodaholics or something? They combine food with the,
Oh, yeah.
It's called a good time.
I used to have
good.
I had a guitarist in my band that liked to put chicken nuggets inside vaginas and eat them out.
The fuck?
Hot?
That's being
I've
creative
heard
with
of
food.
people using like frozen food or
Mustard
you know
sauce.
something that's not like frozen strawberries. I've heard
There
of
you-
that happen.
Yeah, nothing
Grapes.
this man did made sense. He actually used to take LSD and watch Sesame Street over and over and over, and then he'd write a song.
That's sick.
That tickle.
How about frozen grapes?
Frozen grapes are perfect.
Yeah, that's
Frozen rape?
grape. Frozen
Yeah, you gotta be really good at dodging that shit if you make her laugh.
grape. That's interesting. I don't know.
Popping out like freaking babies.
That's why I like the tapioca with the big pearls,
Ew.
chewy. They're chewy.
Wrong texture, dude.
Oh.
Wrong texture.
Rachel, do you shoot grapes out of your pussy?
No, bitch, I use ping pong balls. I'm a real woman.
Well, I shoot bowling balls at my asshole.
Hey, I learned to play Japanese ping pong when I was in Japan, and I beat everybody because of the chopstick style, okay? Not the old-fashioned American hand paddle stuff. I'm talking chopstick style. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You've got more
I played
movement.
with chopsticks. It's very cool.
Yeah, you can move it like 360 degrees versus the hand paddle, the American style. You can only go 180. You know what I mean? Unless you're going to twist your arm and your elbow and your shoulder out. But, yeah.
You ever face the cat-eating guys from China?
No. Only when I was at the Chinese embassy. I had to protect those guys when I was in D.C. too.
Nice.
Japanese embassy, German, British, Israeli, you name it.
I'm hungry.
Hi, karate.
Speaking of protecting the Chinese, did any of them eat your cat?
No, they had some raccoons in the trash can one night. I came across, but that's because they had delicious food. That's why the raccoons were jumping all over it.
And then the raccoons
Trash
for
can
food.
pandas.
Yeah, they were dumpster diving,
Dumpster diving.
and an hour later they were hungry again.
Ugh. Man.
They had the best. They had the best food. Believe me, those people had really good food. You ever went to an embassy party or something? Go.
So,
I know that when my brother went to Taiwan, they had dogs tied up at the barbecue pits.
That's Taiwan. Somebody had a petition going around. Cats and dogs. I guess they still have cats and dogs that they're eating somewhere in the United States. Not in the United States. It's illegal.
I
Unless
think
you're-
you might find them at your local Chinese restaurant.
Yeah. Filipino.
What is
Maybe
the legality of eating wolf?
There is none. It's a wild animal.
That's what I thought, too.
I'll eat wolf man, though.
If it's domesticated, I still wouldn't eat it unless you're just totally out there in the woods with bears and stuff. So.
I would actually eat a human before I eat an animal.
Hey, June, have you ever had any paranormal experiences? I never asked you that before.
Yes, I have.
Like what?
I have dealt with yokai.
I want to hear about the alien experience. Anyway.
I never dealt with really aliens, more or less ghosts.
Like Whitley Strieber had some, right?
The ghosts I had to deal with are usually yokai, or they're called rape ghosts.
Oh, Jesus. No, I was actually being serious.
But yeah, the last part is a joke, though, about the rape ghost.
What do you call them in Japanese?
Yokai.
Okay, that's what I thought you meant.
Yeah.
So, what did you see? What did you actually see? What happened?
Okay. Actually did see one from one of my dead family members. I was in a cemetery at the time. I was basically praying, not really praying, but lighting some incense and just giving my thanks and whatnot.
That was a Buddhist cemetery, right?
No, we do that in the regular cemetery.
So it was a multi-denominational, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was just
like
curious.
everybody here tends to do that.
Yeah.
Like usually we pay our respects.
That's cool.
You'll see like a lot of wandering spirits around.
Yeah, actually physical form, like, are they transparent? What did it look like?
It'll seem like they're there, but when you touch them, your hand will kind of go through them.
transparent.
So it wasn't really transparent. It looked solid.
It looked like it was real, but when I tried to put my hand to touch them, my hand went through.
Okay, was this in the middle of the daytime?
It was about midday.
Wow, I had a similar experience actually seeing like they looked real and then they disappeared on the little cemetery on my farm once. So I believe you.
But yeah, like it was after we said our goodbyes, the ghost disappeared.
That's pretty cool. It didn't make any sound.
It spoke to me.
Oh, really? And did everyone hear it or just you?
It was just me. They thought I was a bit. Some people thought I was crazy. Some people probably figured out what was going on.
Well, I think pretty much the consensus here is we all do think you're crazy. Would you guys agree?
English? Was that in English?
It was not in English. We weren't talking in English.
That's important. Yeah. Excuse me.
Because most of the ghosts there, or all of the ghosts there, almost all of them don't speak English.
Exactly.
Is there any? And yeah, that was in a cemetery too. Eh? That's weird. Is there anywhere that's like a real haunted area that you know of that no one will go to and in around that area? I heard
Abandoned prison. I've been to abandoned prison.
Yeah,
these were just, some were actual rapists, some were murderers. Yeah. You'll find like some crazy guys there.
Alcatraz.
We don't have an Alcatraz.
No, I was just saying.
There is a place in Japan that I heard of. I can't remember what it's called. That no one will go near this place, and I think it's an abandoned prison.
It's the forest. No, it's the forest.
Yeah, it's a forest of death. I actually went there.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they go there to commit suicide a lot.
I actually did go there to try to commit suicide.
Really?
Yeah.
It's up by a mountain, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to go up.
Right.
It's called Shinano Forest. So.
Yeah. That's weird. I've seen a couple of YouTubes on it.
Yeah. I would say this, do not go there unless you're going to try to kill yourself.
Right.
Because if I did go there, I did see some people that actually died from suicide there. And
like the bodies, or you seen bodies, or you seen ghosts?
Ghosts.
Okay.
The bodies are cleaned up.
Yeah. I mean, they have somebody goes out there like every day and they put notices or signs up, for like suicide prevention and stuff like that.
Yeah, they have that. But lucky for me, like the tree branch broke and I wasn't able to kill myself.
Why would you do that? What made you do that?
I was depressed.
Well, you're not supposed to put the rope around your ankle.
It was around my neck.
I know, I was kidding.
Yeah. But speaking of that, yeah.
So, I don't know, do you mind me asking what made you so depressed to make you want to do that?
Like, it's a bit fucked up to get into. Like, some of the part about it was, like, people I knew were dying, and I just felt like, I might as well meet them.
Yeah, you'll see them anyway.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to make it go quicker. I was just at a bad state at that time.
What state?
Is the state of rape of village.
Well, you're not local, are you, June?
No, he's in Japan.
No, I don't live in the Americas, no.
You are? You're in Japan?
Yeah.
Which part?
I'm in Hokkaido.
That's up north, right? Well, north of where I used to be. I used to live in Atsugi, which was in the Kanagawa Prefecture, which is still in the Tokyo district, actually. And that's like 20 miles, 50 miles away, something like that. But Hokkaido's like up north.
Yeah, I hate Tokyo.
Yeah, it's dirty. That's what I went to take my black belt test there with Raisei Kano, the son of the founder, they're both no longer living, but that was back in 1970, a long time ago. In fact, I just communicated with him, got my new card. Yeah, Rachel wants to go to Japan. We got to take her to Japan.
Oh, yes. I have some rope for Rachel.
Go to Kamakura and eat sushi and have the tea ceremony and all that. And go to a real Japanese hot bath massage thing. I miss that still. It's good therapy, you know?
Oh, speaking of hot baths, you get to peep in women at the bath. Very fun.
Yeah, but you look Asian. You can get by. If you're Anglo or Gaijin, they won't let you go to public baths normally. Unless you look Asian something, you know? Show off your Yakuza tattoos or...
No.
No?
No. That's not allowed.
What's that?
Oh, you don't show Yakuza anything.
Well, I've got some martial...
You'll get kicked your ass out for having a tattoo at all.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So I have a martial arts tattoo on my shoulders. No different than...
I don't know if they changed it or not, but yeah, they don't want Yakuza going in there.
Yeah, if it's Yakuza, that's different. They got body tattoos. But
like sometimes they might think you're Yakuza, but I don't know. I don't have any tattoos.
Yeah. Ronda Rousey. You know Ronda Rousey? Oh, go ahead.
Let's have a... I'm going to play a commercial or something, I think, here. We need a short break. It's bottom of the hour. And we'll be right back with more... I don't know what we're going to talk about next. Something else.
Country Dennis. Oh, yeah. Come to Country Dennis, and he will get the best kind of dentistry from the country you have ever. Never had this kind of service for this price. And those other dentists, they don't know what they're doing because they fuck up on your teeth, they drill holes, and your fillings fall out, and you're fucked. So yeehaw! Country Dennis, we'll fix you up, man.
I'm the dental assistant, and I use the crazy glue. We use lots of whiskey.
Somewhere in the park, hidden from your friends, stealing all they knew. Lovers thrown in airless rooms, then vile rewards for you. Well, I'm gonna tell, yes, I've gotta tell the things you said. Talking in the dark, and I'm gonna tell the things you've done when you're walking crammed with people, landscape filled with wrath, gray and concrete city, rain has wet the street. I want to see you clearly before you close the door. A room of bloody history, you made sure of that. I can see you as a corpse hanging from a beam. I can read you like a book. I can feel you falling. I hear you moaning in your room. Oh, see if I care. Oh, please, please make it soon. Walls have got you cornered. You've got the blues, my friend. And people don't like you, but you will leave without a sound, without an end. Oh, bleeding shall own you. Death alone shall love you. I hope you feel so lonely you could die. I feel so lonely you could die. You feel so lonely you could
All that. That was Dave Bowie, all right. Can you dig it? That's the song I say is foreshadowing his own death.
Wow.
There we go. What the hell? Okay. All right. So,
It's a
what were we talking about, John?
on the fridge.
Oh shit.
Well, I was talking about judo and stuff, and I was talking about something real quick. Rhonda Rusi, who's an American female black belt, lots of respect to her, and another one's Kayla Harrison. But she's got two judo tattoos on her wrist, one on each side. One is the flower with the red core with the white surrounding petals, and then the other one's an octagon, which is an earlier form of the Kodokan symbol.
Yeah, which is also found in Egypt. That I think I know what you're talking about. The flower of life, they call it.
Like the lotus?
It's similar.
Yeah. Lotus blossom.
No, this is different. No, I'm thinking of something different. But there's a statue holding it in, I think it's in China actually, or Japan, and it's the same symbol that's found in a temple in Egypt. It has the same goddamn symbol. It's really weird, man.
Pussy is also called a lotus flower.
Oh.
I was thinking the exact same thing too.
That's always what we think about.
Go down on the lotus.
Oh yeah.
But if you bite too hard, she will be yelling, Tasket, and the police might arrest you.
The tree of life. The forbidden fruit. You sure?
Yeah. So, what are we going to talk about next? We got a whole hour yet. Oh, let's talk about that. I wanted to touch base on. Do you know anything about those alien bodies they found in? Well, we don't know if they're alien bodies. They found these bodies in Peru with 3 fingers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you were talking about that earlier today. I've seen pictures of it. I pulled it up. If you Google it, you can pull it up. Alien body, Peru or something. And I looked at it and I go, well, that's not normally from, it looks like a plaster body to me. Just first response. Because I've actually seen bodies. I've seen mummies. I think years ago I went to a museum in San Diego, the Natural History Museum, and they actually had a mummy that was from South America. And it was of a female kind of scrunched down like she was sitting or something. And she had her hair and everything. She was in very good condition.
Yeah,
almost like that.
Well, apparently they're covered with some sort of material that they've been, that's how they mummified them, by packing this white material around them.
Right. If it's a real mummy, they're going to wrap them typically like maybe they do the typical Egyptian mummy, you know, from the mummy movies years ago, and Tutankhamun and all those, because what they do is they do an autopsy, take out the major organs, put them in special jars, sew them up, wrap them. Maybe they put tanna leaves all over them, right? If you're familiar with the mummy history and all that, tanna leaves.
Yeah, this is similar, but this is a totally different technique that's never been seen before, the way these were mummified.
Right. So it doesn't match normal.
Doesn't match anything.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, there is organic material inside of it. It's real bodies, but there's some weird, and it's been speculated, but I'm not sure about the test results, that it could be monatomic white gold powder that they're wrapped in and packed around them. Yeah, this is really wild, man.
Because gold is a really good conductor that allegedly the aliens were coming down to mine, and they use slaves and all that so they could get the gold. Gold is used in their electronics and all these other things because it's not magnetic.
Do you know what monatomic gold is? This is
no.
It turns into a white powder, and it's just like monatomic gold. So it's been changed. But it turns into a superconductor once it's in that form.
Okay, I've never heard of it doing that, because gold does not decompose the same way we think it does. But it's not decomposing, right?
Oh, I don't think it will decompose. It's a superconductor. It's a very strange, probably the most strangest material on Earth. It actually disappears if you heat it up to a certain degree. It just disappears. And also becomes weightless.
Okay, let me interject. Let me interject something. You're familiar with the guy Valiant Thor, who was a visitor from Venus years ago, back in 1951 or whatever it was? This is what they sort of based the movie of Day the Earth Stood Still in 1951. But he came in on a spaceship. He wore a special suit, which was made of a special material, and they borrowed it to test it when he was in between negotiations to talk to President Eisenhower. He was, escorted by Secret Service, underground train, whatever, the whole 9 yards. But they tested the material. They couldn't burn it. They couldn't cut it. They broke a drill on it, the whole 9 yards. And yet you couldn't see where it was put together. So if you opened it up, it would be like having a secret Velcro fold in it. And you put it on, close it back up, and you can't see it anymore.
Wow.
So special space technology. It was bulletproof. So if you wanted to be Superman or something, you could stand there and take certain blows to it. I don't know how far they tested it, but I heard at least that minimum. Short of, and they didn't have lasers necessarily back then either, so. But that's like super material. No different than the material that is digitally enhanced in its cloaking device.
Okay.
That's a special secret that has been out in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I heard about that. But hey, Rachel, what do you got to say about these? Have you heard about this? You must have. Where'd she go?
She's drinking.
Oh,
she's making dinner.
She's getting hammered. She says we're boring.
She's making dinner.
I told her to try a nice Cosby.
A what?
Cosby.
A Cosby drink? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, nice Cosby. I give those to girls sometimes.
Oh my God. Rohypnol. Roofies.
Yeah. But anyway,
I have the pills hidden in my rope.
That white powder gold, it will also not only go weightless at a certain temperature, it will disappear, and it also, if ingested, apparently it repairs the ends on your DNA that always, so basically will stop you from aging.
That's interesting, because normally they would X-ray or do an MRI on that body, and I'm surprised they haven't done it like already.
Oh, they have. I think they have, right? But I don't know if the results are out yet. I'm not sure if the results are out yet. I could check that out.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they left the organs inside or not.
I know that they've taken samples. They have sent samples to multiple different laboratories, and the laboratories don't know what other laboratories, so it's all going to be a separate individual results yet. I don't know why we haven't heard anything from results yet. Does anybody know? Is there results yet or not?
They're probably keeping it secret.
Speaking of white powder, does that mean cocaine will make me young?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, rub it all over your body.
Well, I was going to mention they found something called cumin, which they've had tons of it, barrels and barrels, hundreds of pounds of it in these pyramids. And apparently that was a major nutrient that they used for healing and so forth. And I bought some as a vitamin supplement. You can buy it in gel caps. Looks like a sort of a cumin. Yeah, like pepper. Cumin seed oil.
I've used that in my cooking.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I might be coming in a second, though.
Cumin. Yeah, it's supposed to have some interesting properties.
Yep.
That's why they they clean the body, they prepare it, just like they did Jesus. They put him in frankincense and myrrh and olive oil and all this other stuff. And when they anointed him, I did the research on this. They put marijuana in it. They call it soma. They grind it up with all these other spices, including cinnamon, and they make an oil out of it with the other additives and so forth. And that's what they anoint these priests with. And once you've been anointed with it, you are allowed to keep using it like it was a special drug or whatever. But these guys practically take baths in it. They will go in and dip their whole body in it and absorb that stuff through the skin. And it has special properties to it, besides healing and all that other stuff. So I think they were using it for religious purposes myself.
Like Viagra.
That works too. Exactly like that. I mean, you could last for like 4 to 6 hours.
Yeah, just pop 2 Viagra and you can last for about maybe 8 hours.
8 hours.
If it's up for longer, you may as well call some more women.
Okay. Those bodies were found by the Nazca Desert, by those Nazca lines. I've got some shit here. I'm skimming through. I think the radiologist told Gaia TV it seemed unlikely changes were made to the skull or hands to provide their unique appearance. So it had 3 fingers and 3 toes and like more, what do you call that?
So they chopped off somebody's digits?
No, they say they weren't.
They weren't, right?
They were not chopped off. And it has more, what do you call that? Like,
well, the fingers are longer, so the phalanges are longer.
They bend more. Like, they could bend in multiple places more than our hands.
Yeah, there's more digits in their phalanges.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. How many phalanges do you have on your left hand right now?
3 in each finger, I guess? I don't know.
No, each finger's a phalange.
Okay.
And you got tarsals, metatarsals, and all that stuff. So they break it down into the fingertips, the tarsals, and then the metatarsals, which is your 3 joints. Then you get into the palm of the hand. I had to do a description on Elvis Presley's ear the other day because some idiot was trying to say, "Oh, that's Elvis Presley." You know, I said, look at the ear. Is that the same ear? No, it's not. You know.
So yeah, there's not much. Oh, here's more.
Kakui. There's a term, June. Kakui. I haven't heard that.
No kakui.
No.
The DNA tests are underway.
That's what they used to say.
They did a CAT scan on them, and it showed a skeleton inside the mummy. Internal organs are said to be intact. It was dated to 245, between 245 and 410 AD, and DNA tests are underway.
So after Jesus. You know, I don't think the CAT scan is that accurate. I think they need to do a dog scan.
Or a wolf scan.
I had a leopard scan, and yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
You might need to try the new rope scan.
Yeah, because they don't go deep enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't get enough rope marks over your tits.
Soft rope. Nylon's the best, right, June?
No, hard rope.
Hard rope. Oh my God.
You don't want them getting away, do you?
No. Ichiban.
Factual finds that have been described.
Ichiban.
Segura.
The absence of a single definitive explanation for their origins has prompted speculation that aliens were somehow involved in their creation. Wow, there's still more here. Yeah, this is
wait a minute. They found so many skulls, elongated skulls, in South America and other places, that as soon as somebody discovers it, they turn it in, or the government comes in, they take it or confiscate it or claim they're going to do tests on it. And then all of a sudden they disappear. You know, they can't find them anymore.
Well, I don't understand why they got these elongated skulls that are still there in Peru, that are in this one museum, and a couple other places too that I heard about, and they have not been DNA tested yet. Why?
Well, that's what they claim. They claim that they didn't test it yet, right?
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. They're lying. That's like saying, "Oh yeah, we've got it in the back refrigerator. We're gonna get around to it someday." Like
we might need John's black light.
My black light, my UV light, and my infrared light.
Yeah, we'll need the black light to find semen stains. And also look for any blood or anything.
You know, an interesting experiment, since you mentioned it, is that you can take it to your kitchen with all the lights off, turn on the black light, and you can see all the grease that splatters all over the walls and on the cupboards, on the ceiling, or wherever. And if you go take that normal trip every 2 hours, like you have to go lose some liquid, you can turn the lights off, turn the black light. It's kind of like enhanced color, you know. It's kind of interesting.
I'd say don't blacklight my kitchen because you're gonna find a lot of cum stains.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
That's what you use blacklights for.
Must be the bleach. Now, I remember a case where there was a rapist. There was a guy who used to break into these women's apartments. He would go through their drawers and pull out panties and stuff, and I guess he would abuse himself with it and leave all kinds of evidence on the inside of the sink at the bathroom. And this woman was really keen on her eye, because this is before we were carrying black lights around, forensic labs. We didn't even have guys to come and collect samples so they could put it in a file somewhere, for evidence, for DNA, because this was prior to 1981. Mitochondrial DNA didn't come up until 1989 or so. In fact, I'm working on a case where they claim they have DNA, but they didn't use the DNA. So they use it to their advantage to prosecute people in a negative way. But can you imagine? They could take the sample, put it in a tube, test it, do a DNA test, save all the results, and then if they had to, they could probably keep the sample.
Was the rapist ever caught?
Not to my knowledge. He was there's another term for it. He wasn't really a rapist per se. He was like a stalker, prowler is the word I'm looking for.
Actually, he's just a pervert.
Yeah, he was a nighttime prowler that took a chance of getting caught and going into some place naked and doing that, and then afterwards he would take off and disappear. So, who knows?
Yeah, I've done that sometimes. I'd steal some panties and jerk off with them. But I try not to do that much. Because they have vending machines where I can get some panties.
Hey, DNA is really, really different these days. They can test DNA all the time. Swab. They just swab your cheek and they got DNA.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea why they made the panty vending machines?
For sniffing purposes.
No. There's actually a case with a guy known as the Pansu Thief. He's actually a very great guy who would steal panties. He would steal the panties, he'd smell them. They were used. He never stole clean panties.
Logically, why would you steal clean panties? Seriously, how can you sniff them?
Yeah, and he would give those to people. It's like the perverted Robin Hood.
My gosh.
Some people actually sell those, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's a big thing. I actually met some women that told me they're making lots of money off it.
Really?
Yeah, they're making lots of money. They quit their job. They just sell their panties.
Damn.
Oh, you buy any panties, Wolf?
No, I don't need that shit. I like sniffing the real thing.
I'm pretty sure Rachel sells her panties.
Where's Rachel?
Where'd she go?
Selling her panties.
That's weird. I think
if you want her panties, you're gonna have to pay a good price.
Yeah.
Wait, thongs. You guys didn't even mention thongs. You're talking panties. I'm saying, well, what about the thongs? Those things are really deep,
You don't see very many women wear thongs.
Oh yeah, I do. I don't know, but around here they do. Like, you can see the thong sticking up above their jeans. Almost all the women I see, if you see what they're wearing, it's a thong, yeah.
The only time you'll see a woman with those types of... they're usually hookers.
Housewives and everyone.
I've worked with women that would wear thongs every day.
Yeah, like when they people at work, they bending over to do stuff, and you can see the top of their thong from.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Anyways, put a short break here. We got damn. I'm getting tired, guys. I don't care if we end the show right now.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock, eh?
Yeah. You want to call her a night, guys?
No.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm good. It's like
right.
Almost 2 p.m. for me, so yeah.
Oh.
It's 11
Yeah, that's
here.
right.
That's awesome. All right. All right. Thanks, guys. It was kind of a.
Others I don't
Hey, I need a Japanese female pen pal jersey or a Skype pal.
I'm not sending you one because you're gonna send me messages.
No, I would do that.
You sound like the type that's like, "Ooh, Harry, dude, look at my penis."
No, I'm embarrassed. I would not show it.
Are you sure?
Would.
Yeah, really. I mean, no, I'm not proud of it. I mean, it's there. I use it. It's what it's for. You know.
What is it? Is it Asian smell?
No.
Is it brat guy big?
Yeah.
Then you should be proud of it.
Yeah, but I don't go showing it off or nothing. I mean, it's
I
kind
don't
of
have a
private.
very big penis, so
Yeah.
I just show it off because I'm a pervert.